Hola, Paradise Panther artists. Me llamo Señora Telfer. I am excited to be back with you today, learning about our next master artist, Frida Kahlo. She is a Mexican painter known for her many portraits, self-portraits, and works inspired by the nature and artifacts of Mexico. So come along with me as we explore Frida's native Mexican culture, her bright colors, and her mixture of realism and symbolism. Vámonos! Today, I would like you to think about the house that you live in. Is it big? Is it tall? Does it have a lot of windows? What color is it? Is it white or yellow or brown? Well, let me show you the house in which our master artist, Frida Kahlo, lived for most of her life. What colors will it be? Well, here is a hint in Frida's native language. Her house is azul. Isn't this a colorful house? What colors do you see? I see blue and pink and green. This house is called Casa Azul. Do you know what that means in Spanish? Yes, it means blue house. Very good. If you would like to live in a colorful house like this, say Casa Azul with me. Ready? Go. Casa Azul. 3 years before she was born, Frida Kahlo's father built this beautiful blue house in a small village outside of Mexico City. Frida was born here. Today, the house is a museum, which shows Frida's paintings and a collection of her favorite things. Here, you can see her parents' wedding photo. Frida's father was a photographer. Do you think her father took these photos of Frida and her sisters when she was young? Yes, he did. Frida was one of 4 daughters. She was a very good student in school. She started taking art classes when she was in high school. As we saw in the first slide, Frida's house was bright and colorful. So were her paintings and the way she dressed. She loved to dress up. You will get to see how she dressed because most of her paintings were self-portraits. Let's see if you remember what a self-portrait is. Yes, that's right. It's when an artist, like Frida, paints herself. Muy bueno, which means very good. Now, I would like you to say sí, which means yes in Spanish. Do you like to dress up in your favorite clothes? That's great, and so did Frida. Frida especially loved Mexican dress and jewelry. Each day, she braided her long black hair with ribbons and flowers or jewelry. She would try on a number of different blouses and skirts. She also applied makeup carefully. One of her favorite costumes was a fancy blouse and a long, colorful skirt with a white ruffle. She sometimes wore a shawl around her shoulders, called a rebozo in Spanish. For Frida, dressing herself was like painting. She chose colors, textures, and shapes in her clothes, just like she did in art. In this self-portrait, Frida is beautifully dressed, standing between 2 white curtains. What is she holding? Yes, she is holding a small bouquet of flowers and a letter. She gave this painting as a birthday present to a good friend, wishing her a happy birthday on the note. Frida always wore long skirts. Let's find out why. When Frida was 18 years old, she was very seriously hurt in a bus accident. She almost died from her injuries. Many bones in her body were broken, including both of her legs. After several months of not being able to get out of bed, Frida began to paint. When she was well enough, Frida began to show her paintings to other artists. One of the artists to whom she showed her work was Diego Rivera. He was a famous Mexican artist. He liked her work and fell in love with Frida. They married, but Frida's father was not happy about the marriage. He said it was like an elephant marrying a dove. Why would he say that? Well, here's the wedding portrait that Frida painted of herself and Diego Rivera. Who is the elephant in this portrait? It's Diego. And why would her father say that? Well, he is much larger than Frida. Who is the dove in this portrait? It's Frida. And why would her father say that? She looks like she is floating like the dove above her head. Her eyebrows are like the wings of a dove. And she is much smaller than Diego. In this double portrait, we see her dressed in Mexican clothes. Is Diego dressed in Mexican clothes? No. Diego is wearing American-style clothing. He holds his palette and brushes in his right hand, while his left hand holds Frida's hand. She portrays Diego as the artist and not herself. Why do you think that is? Well, she thought he was the better artist. Her husband was always encouraging her to paint because she didn't think she was good enough. After her marriage to Diego, everything Frida did showed her love and pride of being Mexican. She decorated their home with Mexican art and wore Mexican clothing, like embroidered dresses and shawls with jewelry. Frida was very proud of her Mexican heritage. Go ahead and say sí or no if you have a pet that you love. Well, Frida loved her many pets and often painted herself with them. Her pets were very unusual, though, unlike yours and mine. Did you know she had monkeys, a deer, and many parrots? Would you like to have a pet like that? In the courtyard of Casa Azul, she kept her pet spider monkeys, her deer, her parrots, and pet dogs. Which one of these pets do you think we will see in the next self-portrait? Let's find out. What pets do you see here? Yes, we see a monkey and a parrot. This parrot was her favorite one, and his name was Bonito. Do you know what that means in Spanish? It means pretty. Say this with me. Hola, Bonito. Ready? Go. Hola, Bonito. Which animal would you like to pet? Which texture do you think would be the softest? Texture is how something feels or looks. In this painting, we can only feel the texture of the fur and the feathers with our eyes. Frida used lots of little brush strokes to make it look realistic. Go ahead and feel the texture of your hair. Now, feel the texture of your face. Are they different? Yes, they are. See. Let's see more self-portraits by Frida. Will her pets be with her? Will she look happier? Let's find out. Can you show me with your hands the shape of Frida's unusual eyebrows? She was very proud of the way she looked and made her eyebrows stand out in all of her paintings. Do her eyebrows remind you of another kind of pet you might have? Yes, they are similar to a bird. Frida often painted herself with her pets because they were like her children, especially the monkeys. Let's pretend you are a friend of Frida's. She invites you to a dinner at Casa Azul. But be prepared. One of her monkeys once leaped through an open window from the patio onto the dining room table. He quickly picked out a piece of fruit and ran back into the garden to hide and eat the stolen treat. Or maybe you would arrive for a nice lunch with Frida and find a monkey sitting on your head while you ate. And Frida would think this was very funny and cute. Would you like to try to talk with a monkey on your head? Go ahead and shake your head, sí or no. But don't let the monkey fall off. Now, let's look closely. What did she paint in the background of this portrait? Yes, it's leaves. Frida Kahlo loved painting leaves, as you will see in the next portrait of Mariana Murillo. Where do you see leaves in this portrait? Yes, you see them in the background and on the dress, and there are flowers and leaves on her hair bow. Look at all the lines she painted to make the texture of the leaves. Despite her lifelong struggle with poor health, Frida continued to paint, and she taught art classes to children in Mexico City. She taught her students to be proud of their heritage, of being from Mexico. Do you think teaching made Frida smile? Yes, it did. Go ahead and show me with your own big smile. What is your heritage? Where were your parents, grandparents, or great-grandparents born? Frida and her students studied together, sang Mexican songs together, and laughed together. Her students learned about art, and they went to the museums to learn and draw. Do you remember the name of her favorite parrot? Yes, it's Bonito. Let's take another look at him. Is Bonito having a great time? Point to the fruit that he thinks is yummy. Do you think he has already been enjoying some fruit? Yes, I think so too. The texture of the watermelon is beautifully painted by Kahlo to look so realistic that we can almost taste the sweetness. This kind of painting is called a still life because everything is sitting still on a table. Do you think Frida was able to get her pet bird to sit still for very long? No, she wasn't. Does Frida ever look happy in her self-portraits? No, she doesn't. That's because she had more than 30 operations to fix all of the broken bones from her bus accident. As she got older, she didn't want to paint self-portraits anymore because she looked so sick. So she began painting the colorful fruit of Mexico instead. She would have a helper arrange the fruit on a table, and Frida would paint the still life while lying flat in her bed. Do you think it would be hard to paint that way? See, it was. Notice how the fruit overlaps. Can you show me overlapping with your hands? Yes, go ahead and put one hand in front of the other. What fruit is overlapping bonito? It's a watermelon. Do you think the painting would have been as interesting if the fruits were not overlapping? No, you're right, it wouldn't. Frida Kahlo died at the young age of 47, but left a collection of great paintings which express her love for her Mexican heritage. They also tell us about her unusual life. Today, she is considered to be one of the greatest painters from Mexico. Let's all celebrate Frida's life by saying together, "Viva la vida." Go ahead, try it. Viva la vida. I hope you enjoyed exploring the life and artwork of Frida Kahlo with me today, Paradise Panther artists. You did very well. I will see you next time. Muy bueno y adiós.